Sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Series finale this afternoon between the Brewers and Pirates. Crew coming off a 4-2 victory last night. Starter Kyle Harrison dominant throughout, had 10 strikeouts. It was his first start back in nearly a month. Brewers president of baseball operations, Matt Arnold.
So good to have him back on the mound, and he was doing well, and he was cramping up. I think the inning before, I got a message that he was cramping a little bit, but then it kind of calmed down a little bit. But once he went back out to throw, it sounded like it started to flare up a little bit on him.
Newly acquired Brewers pitcher Dustin May scheduled to get the start this afternoon at American Family Field. All of our coverage at 12:35 right here on WTMJ. Packers training camp continues. Closed practice today, but the team gearing up for family night tomorrow at Lambeau Field. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We are seeing volume pick up a little bit in parts of the 94 area right near the State Fair Park, even some of those side roads, of course. As people are heading to the fair, we're seeing a little bit of congestion, but nothing too bad at this point. 94 westbound, just beyond Highway 100, part of the left shoulder, still blocked there because of a crash, but not seeing major backups. And then tapping the brakes a bit, 94 east and westbound through the stadium interchange. Everything else looking pretty good.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation.
Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right. Built to last.
As for your forecasts, we will see partly cloudy skies, shaping up to be a great day for the opening of the State Fair. High around 76. Tonight, then, partly cloudy, a low down to 65. Into Friday, then, plenty of sunshine. We could maybe see a storm late tomorrow, a little bit warmer with highs in the low 80s. Right now, 72 degrees in Green Bay. We're sitting at 73 in West Dallas, and it's 73 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:09.
Broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studios for the Wisconsin State Fair. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wisconsin State Fair, Bank 5-9 studio. Look, big banner right behind us, Kristen Bry. Looking fantastic.
Hello.
That hair's sensational. And we don't often have a special guest right out of the gate, but when we're in West Dallas, I know the mayor of West Dallas. He's Mayor Dan Devine, who joins us in studio. Hey.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good.
Doing great.
Awesome.
How you look very relaxed for the first day of the fair.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a few of these.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
many have you done now? You've been a mayor for a while now.
It's been 18 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you've been mayor basically as long as one of your children has been alive.
Pretty much. He was 6 months old. Yeah. That's all he knows. And yet he's going to college for accounting. So
not looking for a different career at any point? No?
I always look at this as if I feel like I'm making a difference and I feel like I'm still bringing something to it, I'm going to continue. And I've seen, I'm sure you both can say, you've seen people that are just kind of going through the motions and really kind of retired in place, and I don't want to do that, so I'm trying to be very cognizant of that.
So what does the fair mean to West Dallas? Obviously, you host it, and I was just making a joke during the break about all those no left turn signs, but that sort of keeps everybody corralled and going in the right direction, getting to the fair and out of the fair.
Right.
But how much work is this?
So we do a lot on the outside with just public safety, with traffic flow. We have, some hand in the health department inspections, and then paramedic service as well is always involved. So it's pretty intense, but it's a lot of the same. So, a lot of repeat employees know the routine, they know the drill. We've got an operating procedure we just work off of.
What is at this point, because I feel like you buy a house that's near the State Fair grounds, you kind of know what you're getting into. But is there inevitably every year?
Your mic's off.
Is inevitably in every year, is there complaints?
So, not as many as you'd think.
Okay.
Once in a while, it'll be somebody walking through somebody's yard in the middle of the night and they call. Sometimes it'll be we get a lot of parking complaints, and we do a lot of enforcement, but sometimes I think people from other states we won't name think a $30 ticket is what you'd pay for parking anyway, so they just wing it. And, so
we won't name names.
Right. We won't say which direction that state is.
As somebody who has run a city for a while, in my case just 5 years, how much disruption does it cause to the normal process? Because that's obviously something you have to think about too. Folks live here, they work here, they play here, they do all that, go to restaurants. How much disruption do we have?
It's pretty significant, but it's also something people have just
gotten used to,
learned to live with. It. Some restaurants in the area just close. because they know they'll get no business, and they're competing with the food here.
Right.
So for them, it's just not worth it.
Mayor Dan Devine joining us from the State Fairgrounds, Wisconsin State Fair 2026. First day, just opened minutes ago. Lots of people already on the grounds. Little overcast now. It's supposed to get sunny later. The weather forecast actually looks pretty good. And you've been in a lot of these things. The weather has been very hot at a lot of fairs.
Yes.
This is actually like a refreshing change of pace.
It's pretty nice today. Yeah, it's a little overcast, cooler than we had a couple weeks ago.
Before I let you get out of here, what's your schedule? Like, I know you have to go to the opening ceremonies. What else you got on your agenda?
So we're going to go see John Mulaney next Wednesday at the.
Oh yeah,
the
that's a
Grandstand.
big act.
Yeah, and he's hilarious. So my wife and I are going to go to that, and then my son is working on the grounds again, so he's going to be here.
How old's your son now?
He is 19 as of
Wow.
July 19th. So yeah, he's going to be off to college in
Amazing.
the fall, and but he's working. So
Well, have a great run of the fair. I know you're always here, and you always have to be paying attention to what happens on the State Fair Park grounds. So thanks again for stopping in.
thanks
Enjoy
for
the fair.
the impromptu visit. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Mayor Dan Devine from the city of West Dallas, our hosts here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Kristen and Steve, we're just getting started on this Thursday, first day of the fair for the Bank 5 Studios, and we are fueled, of course, by Leff's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill. Take a quick break here on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I hope you will join me Saturdays at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin. I love the show because I learn something new every week as I introduce you to people and places in our state that are super special. Oh boy, we've got a great show coming up for you this Saturday. It is iconic Ishnala Supper Club, central part of the state. Incredible, worth a little bit of a trip. And we head north to Sheboygan, where the surfers are already out. Experience Wisconsin, 1 o'clock Saturdays on WTMJ.
This is WTMJ Steve Scavini. When your joint's hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion. I did from QC Kinetics. It changed my pain life. My elbow was bad. My left elbow had lots of strain. I had slight tear. And whether it's that or you're dealing on bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to Dr. Caravelli and your great team at QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you and me in Greenfield, where I went, and beautiful Mequon. You'll start with a medical evaluation. They'll review your history. Any imaging you have, bring it. And they'll talk about the actual source of your pain. If you're a good candidate, they'll concentrate their body's own healing tools within the right spot in your body that's actually causing the pain. You get a real shot at holding off surgery, and that's really significant, especially given the time it takes to heal from that and the cost it takes to be a surgery patient. So don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion. Know your options. Call today. QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Hey, we're broadcasting live at the Wisconsin State Fair from the Bank 5 studio, and we are fueled. I always love this because I love Leff's, and they're a great partner of ours at 620 WTMJ. Leff's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill, which is not too far from where we are in our what we used to call the Fishbowl, across from the Dairy Building, right next to the Expo Center. They are located at 2nd Street and Grandstand Avenue, and they got great food. We will be eating lunch, and if for the folks on WAN and probably Saturday in the evening, they'll get some dinner from Leff's. It is a great partner, fantastic food, and don't sleep on the Miller Lite, of course. That is also part of the fair experience. Kristen Bry.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can't tell if I can hear you now, so hopefully you're coming through. Your mic is on. You good?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're like that. What's that? Was it that phone?
Was it AT&T?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
All right. Welcome to the show, Kristen.
We missed you.
I missed my opportunity. Well, I guess I did technically get to talk to the mayor, but no one else heard me talk to the mayor. So did it really happen? I don't know.
It's part of the fun of being at the fair. There's all, and our teammates were hustling to get this all working. And if you stop by the studios, you'll see we have some changes, like how it looks.
Looks less cluttered.
Yeah, some of the old architecture, the old mic stands, all that stuff's ripped out, and we're using more technology, which absolutely makes sense. Pretty soon it'll all be done by AI.
It'll just be floating cameras.
Yeah.
That like our little drones.
Little
that hover
hovering
over us.
above us.
Yeah.
And
so then we can like do the show as we're walking around and
that would be
enjoying the Forkies. I actually haven't seen anything yet as far as what won the Forkies this year. Have you seen it?
I have not, because I had to do a couple things. I'm trying to round up some interviews for next week, and I was meeting with some people, but I've seen the signs that say like number one.
Forkies, the toy from Toy Story. Sporkies.
See, you have that on your mind because you saw the movie recently.
I did.
So what do you know? What I could tell you right now, our shows over the next 7 days, weekdays, will be different than our typical shows. We'll still talk politics, and we'll do that a little bit in a second. And we're still going to have great guests. We have the governor of the state of Wisconsin joining us later in the show. What do you look forward to, Kristen Bry, from the fair experience?
Well, I really like doing the show with you every day. I really like how much we get to talk and wave to people who are walking by. We get to meet listeners that we've never met before. I will... Obviously, now that once you're a mom, it's very fun to bring your kids here. And I think each year right now is getting better as far as more things that Frankie can enjoy when she comes. Like the first year, she was just a baby. Second year, she was kind of into the animals. Most of the rides she wasn't really looking forward to yet. Now I think she's going to be really into the animals, and she's going to want all of this food.
Well, that's part of it.
Just like made eyes at the caramel apples, and I was like, "Yep, she's gonna want that. She's gonna want a cotton candy." I don't know if she'll want a funnel cake or not. Those look a little.
Those are intense.
Yeah,
they're delicious, but it's a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of sugar.
So yeah, between like coming down here with family and friends and
that's the
doing
fun.
The show with you. What about you?
Yeah, I love broadcasting from the state fair because for the same reason you said, you meet so many people that I haven't seen in a year since the last time they came to the fair, and as much as you want to. Keep in touch. We all have busy lives. We're all doing stuff. I travel a lot. I do the show and a lot of other things away. And I was at an event last night out at Pewaukee Lake, which is fantastic. I'll tell you about it a little bit later. But I love the connection. It's the best connection. And we do a lot of stuff, but it's the best connection to a lot of listeners. And they find us. And if you don't know, and I'll say this a lot during the run of the fair, we're right across from the Dairy Building, which is where you get the famous cream puffs. We're just north of the Expo Center, which is where you buy all those cool mops and squeegees and all that stuff, and every crazy implement you probably
would ever need. I think I got, you know what? Last year I got suckered into buying shoe cleaner. Because they did a live demo of cleaning my shoes, and it was like, oh, this is really good. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've opened it since.
I still have a pack of squeegees I bought like my first year at the fair. I mean,
what's the most expensive thing you think you bought here? Have you ever gotten really talked into something?
No, I don't. I'm not that crazy.
Whirlpool that you're like, oh, I'll take this.
I'll give you a real life fair story. So every year Max joins us at the fair. My oldest grandson, and this year, because of scheduling, he's so busy now. He won't be joining us tomorrow, but he'll join us I think next Tuesday. So you'll see him when he comes to the fair. It's like $150 to $200 proposition bet. This kid. Everything costs money, and he wants to do everything. From the glider rides to the cream puffs to the game. The games thing is insane. And all that stuff, he wants to win whatever they have. And I was at the cream puff thing yesterday. They have assembled a mountain of stuffed animals. I have never seen a collection. It was literally the size of the Dairy Building. I mean, that high, that wide. All those things are not given away. You're buying it.
You gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it.
You gotta win some games.
During the run of the fair, all that stuff goes out the window. It's like amazing. So that's the fair experience. All right.
Is that new? The Drinkies little shack over there?
Yes.
There
are some subtle changes. I did walk around a little bit, and there are some subtle changes, some tweaks to the look. I'll give a shout out to our friend CEO Sherry Black, who joined Vincent and Eric this morning. The grounds look amazing. Even the grass in Central Park, which is right across from us here, or right between us and the Dairy Building, looks amazing. So good job on the fertilizer and watering. And she'll join us at some point during the fair. I've reached out to her folks. So lots of stuff to talk about. After the break, we're going to tease something that we have done over the last week. We talked to 3 of the 4 Democratic candidates for governor, long form, in our podcast studio, the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio. And we're gonna post that either tonight or tomorrow, and you'll be able to listen to them talk about leadership, which last time I checked is the job they're running for, to lead this great state of Wisconsin. So those are going to be available. We'll talk about the experience and what we felt like talking to those candidates after this from the fair, Bank 59 Studios. And thanks to Les for fueling all of this. You're right. You're listening to 620 WTMJ.
Sure, first pitch is important, but real Brewers fans know the real warm-up starts in the parking lot. Join us for WTMJ Day, the fan-focused tailgate before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, with catering by Left's Lucky Town. Text WTMJ to 855-616-1620 right now. WTMJ Day, before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th.
TMJ Steve Skifty for Annex Wealth Management. Navigating the loss of a partner, whether through death, divorce, or a health crisis, can feel. Where do I start? Who can help? Annex Wealth Management is here to support you with their continuing dedication, designed to inform, empower, and guide you through life's unexpected transitions. Meet some of the people who can help guide you on August 11th. Join Annex for couples in retirement and shared goals. Reserve your free spot at annexwealth.com under the events section. Annex Wealth Management operates, and this is important, as a fee-only fiduciary, which means they're legally obligated to act in your best interest. No commissions, no pressure to buy products, just focused, customized planning for retirement, investments, tax strategies, and estate planning, all brought together under one roof. And they're local. Love that. Annex started right here in Wisconsin with incredible office in Brookfield, Mequon, Lake Country. Love their Pfister location. Check it out. It's amazing. And now Whitefish Bay. Or you can connect virtually. I've done that as well. It's now easier than ever to get the professional guidance you or your business deserves. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody.
The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. Aww. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com. Point
taken, broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair opening day. Moments after the opening ceremonies, Kristen Bry, of course, alongside. We have a special guest coming up in a little bit, Cleston Morgan, who joins us from City Forward Collective. That's at 10:35 after the bottom of the hour news. We had the opportunity this week to talk to some really big people in the state.
Today's a big day already.
Yeah,
we really front-loaded this thing.
Yeah, we did.
As far as, because I think the Cleston Morgan conversation is going to be interesting because I think whenever we have Cleston on, there's a lot of objections or questions that people have because people care about education, right? And so the conversation from last week, this is kind of a carryover because there was a lot of, should we call it feedback from our conversation last week? So those are some of the questions right out of the gate, is just taking people's questions about the voucher program, how it actually works, why, and people's concerns about the program. So we're
why it's an alternative for a lot of parents in the state of Wisconsin. And obviously it's a hot topic of conversation among the candidates for governor. We interviewed 3 of the 4 candidates for the Democratic nomination for governor this week. Long-form podcast studio. We offered to Francesca Hong. She did not respond.
No, they initially responded, and then scheduling just didn't work out.
But we did talk to the other 3. Your thoughts and we basically asked them the same questions with slight variations about leadership.
Well, I think it's interesting because I keep going back to that survey that we did as far as how many people, like the competence / experience, which are technically 2 different answers, but compared to I want a candidate whose politics and policies align with my ideals. And I just think it's interesting because I think the more you understand what the governor does, it is much. I feel like the best answer to that, as far as what can you actually get done once you're governor, Kelda had a really good answer to that. As far as so much of it is communicating and the bully pulpit, because you have the biggest microphone in the state to address all the people, whether they voted for you or not, and communicate what is actually happening and how we are moving forward as a state, along with, staffing agencies and some of the stuff you don't end up seeing, despite the fact that the buck always stops with the governor.
I was impressed because we sat down for each of them for about 20 5 minutes or so, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a bit longer. And we had a chance to ask them whatever we wanted to about leadership. And I was impressed with all three because I can often tell when I'm asking somebody a question whether they spend too much time thinking about their response. And I felt like their answers were natural and obviously they're campaigning a lot, so they already have that sort of mindset. But I thought they were honest answers. And from David Crowley, County Executive of Milwaukee, his holistic idea about sort of re-examining how we run our state and how we budget things, to Kelda blew me away yesterday. And I'm not a Kelda Roy supporter. I just thought she was put together and smart on the issues. And whether
when she announced, did you not talk to her when she announced?
I talked to her once.
Solo?
Yeah, I talked to her once. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And then, obviously, Joel Brennan, I've said he's the best communicator in the race. I took something away from each of them. But one of the reasons that we wanted to do this is we wanted to give you a chance outside of, and look, I love our partners, but this is a chance to listen to us and these candidates with just them talking and us asking them questions. And if you want an unfiltered look at who they are and what they stand for, what they believe, our podcasts are a way to do the Overtime Podcast.
And it's a video, too.
Yes. So we're going to have it all over our platforms. It should be available by probably this evening. You'll be able to watch them when you want to. And if you're still one of those, 34% undecided voters, if you're listening to Charles Franklin, the MU Law School poll, one, I would say, what are you waiting for? But two, here's some information.
I don't know. Things could still happen.
Oh, my God, yes.
Think about how much this is... I don't want to get too much into it, but there's been stuff that even happened since Mandela Barnes dropped out, as far as some of the interviews that Francesca Hong has been doing. And so, there's still, I think I'm going to make a bold statement. I know that I've been talking about ranked choice voting and some of the other reforms that we can do. I don't think we can send out mail-in ballots as early as we did.
No, it seems problematic.
I am someone who does vote on Election Day. I am also someone who wants to make voting easy for people. But in this situation of wait till as close as you can to Election Day, unless you are just hell-bent on a specific candidate, because it's fluid. I think that was Joe Zepecki's word.
But it gets no crazier than the fact that Crowley voters early were fine, and then they were not fine because he dropped out, and now they're fine again. So, that's the reality here. And as much as we want to make the process easy for people, there also has to be an understanding that this is already very difficult for the administrators of these elections, the clerks, and all the folks who work for them. We want to make it as easy as possible. We want people to vote as much as possible. And my one fear is that if we go extreme, and this is a bigger topic for a bigger day, another day, I don't want to see people just say, you know what, I'm not going to vote. That's not the response I would like to see.
Why? Because it's too hard?
Yeah, it's not the right answer, in my opinion. Now, I understand you have the right to not vote if you want to, and there's certainly people that exercise that, even in the presidential election. I saw Tom Tiffany speak last night, and some of the numbers were shocking about the lack of turnout among sportsmen, hunters, and fishermen who you'd think would be very fired up about politics. Mainly conservatives, and a lot of them don't vote. It's like, what are you waiting for? Those are big issues for conservatives, hunting and fishing rights, what the state does. Anyway, I'll talk about that later in the show. We have a great local news update coming up from America's favorite newsman, Neil Doyle. Before we get to that, here's the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Senate Homeland Security Committee has voted along party lines to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt for not answering any of its questions last week about the origins of COVID. Growing concern about the dwindling supplies of air defense missiles in the national stockpile thanks to the war with Iran.
We're talking about the THAAD missile system. We're talking about the Patriot missile system. A think tank earlier this month put out information that said that the Patriot missiles have been depleted by 2/3 and the THAADs by half. We have confirmed that reporting. We also know from U.S. officials that the number of ATACMS and PRISM missiles are, quote, extremely low.
ABC Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez. 2 Israeli soldiers were killed in an explosion in southern Lebanon today. The first Israeli death since a shaky truce between Israel and Hezbollah nearly 2 months ago. Trump administration says it's planning to completely overhaul the Head Start program. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1031. I'm Neil Doyle. Hundreds of people are sick from a salmonella outbreak linked to jalapenos.
That includes 9 people in Wisconsin. The jalapenos from Coast Citrus Distributors were sourced from Mexico and mostly sold to restaurants, including Chipotle and Qdoba. Both chains have stopped serving the affected peppers. The CDC says most illnesses reported so far started between mid-June and mid-July. The FDA is still trying to determine if the recalled jalapenos also went to grocery stores. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Another downtown Milwaukee office building poised to receive a conversion to housing. The East Tower of the 310 West Wisconsin complex, known for its blue paneling, would be switched from office space into over 200 apartments under the proposal from the Department of City Development. The project is the latest to swap empty office space for living space, following the example of the ongoing 100 East and 633 West Wisconsin conversions. Fans are making their way through the gates as the 175th Wisconsin State Fair is officially underway.
The fair is on for 11 days. Come visit the fair. There's always something new, something interesting with the fair and like that. And it's a fun time. It's Wisconsin, you know.
Before you head out, fair officials certainly encouraging visitors to know that admission and parking are cashless. Everyone entering the grounds will have to go through security screening. If you're driving, parking also available on site while spaces last. And officials also saying that drivers should plan ahead with some of that ongoing construction on I-94. Of course, the State Fair runs through August 16th. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Bit of a mixed bag. The Dow is off about 0.5% at 54,100. The NASDAQ at 26,432. That's up about 70 points. And the S&P 500 is barely in the red, down about a point at 7,720. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We are seeing a little bit of heavier volume, of course, not surprising, right near the State Fair Park there in West Dallas. So give yourself a little extra time. Just use some patience as you're making your way into the fairgrounds. Everything on 94, though, as you're getting there, looks pretty good at the moment. So that's encouraging. And we're just seeing a bit of a slowdown, one of our work zones. This is 41 southbound, tapping the brakes a bit right near Good Hope. Everything else looking good. As for your forecast, partly cloudy skies today. We'll see a high around 76 degrees. Tonight, then cloudy with a low down to 65. Into Friday, we should see some more sunshine, a bit warmer and humid with highs in the low to mid 80s. Could maybe see a shower or storm pop up late tomorrow. And then into the weekend, Saturday, sunny. Chances for maybe a shower or storm and a high of 81. Right now, 73 degrees in Kenosha. We're sitting at 74 in West Dallas, and it's 73 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1034.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified rock-solid pre-approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 rock-solid seller guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
It's time for some forward thinking on Point Taken. Brought to you by City Forward Collective, focusing on education in Milwaukee.
we're joined by Celeste Morgan, Executive Director of City Forward Collective, a local nonprofit working to ensure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family. We talked to you last week. I love the fact that you're back here this week.
Well, not exactly same place, but it's great to be with you guys again.
I was going to say, so what is it, before we get into school and school choice and vouchers and all of it and a lot of objections that we got last week from your last time here, let's talk a little bit of fair. What's your favorite thing at the fair?
Ooh, that's a good question. I am the pig races, actually.
The pig races. I was not expecting you to say pig races.
My kids love them every time. We get popcorn on the way in. We sit and watch it. Don't ask me why, but it works for them. There you go.
Is there betting on that? Like
I'm sure there is.
Interesting. Like a casual family bet. It's got to be.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Who gets the
it's like betting on which
sausage.
Yeah, the sausage race. All right. So last week we had a lot of feedback, and because the time always goes really quickly, we can't always get to texters' questions or comments left in the videos that we post afterwards. But I guess some of the ones that stood out to me that I don't know if you just want to take head on. But
yeah, let's do it.
The strongest one. Vouchers steal money from schools. Is that the number one objection you think you hear when we talk about parental choice?
Goodness. I definitely hear this a lot. And I get it, and it's complicated. I would offer two answers here. One is I'd reframe the question. We are paying dollars to educate our students. And so to me, at the end of the day, the question is, are the dollars getting to the students that need to be educated? And I think that's the reframe that I would offer. The second answer, the more direct answer to the question is no, and especially no in Milwaukee. So there's been talk that, for a long time, the convoluted taxes of all this on the back end, there were some indirect set-asides and ways in which these impacted. All of that has been gone in Milwaukee for a couple of years. In fact, you might remember if you live in Milwaukee, you used to get an insert in your property tax bill that said, here's how much of your MPS taxes are going out. You haven't seen that in the last couple of years because that was all phased out. I think in 2023 or 2024 was the year that was fully phased out. It's a little bit different across the rest of the state, but we are really talking about very small portions. I don't think there's a single district in the state where this is over 3 or 4%.
Another one that came in was it's called parental choice as a conservative rebranding exercise. I've heard this one before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Oh, this one could not be more false. And I think it's really important to knock this down. So the Milwaukee Parental Choice Program, the author of that bill was Polly Williams, a black Democrat in the early 1990s.
People have forgotten that.
People forget that. People have, there's another history and another set of stories that exist nationally. That's not our story in Milwaukee. And remember, we're pioneers on this. We came first. So the Milwaukee Parental Choice Program, that name came directly from the parents that were working with Polly Williams, that were working with Dr. Fuller at the time, that were working with some of the other pioneers in this program.
Oh, we just said that one. But so with the voucher cost coming from taxpayers, is it more or less in each MPS seat?
It is less. It's about 30 to 35% less. We've talked about this before. I've said that as a city, Milwaukee is underfunded to the tune of $200 to $220 million each year. That's a direct result of the fact that 1 in 4 of our students here in Milwaukee is educated in a private school using the parental choice program. Those students are funded about 30% less than their peers at MPS on state and local dollars.
One of the big things that's swirling around this election for governor is this phasing out idea that's been tossed around. Francesca Hong has said it. Other people who are not necessarily running, but supporters like the idea as well. The reality of that is, and you talked about it last week, it's unreasonable and unlikely, but yet it's still being perpetuated by candidates.
Well, and not only is it being perpetuated, something new has come onto the table. I think last time when we were talking about this, Francesca Hong's position was we should get rid of it, gradually sunset it over some period of time. She had made mention of 20 to 30 years. She's been a lot clearer over the last week. She said she sees this now as a second or third budget session, meaning in her first term, 2030 is a specific year that she put out on a national podcast, so on the public record. That is a much more aggressive timeline than we have heard previously from any of these candidates. Now, again, first and foremost, this is bad policy and it's bad politics, but to do this in a 3 or 4 year time frame, right? A kindergartner who, in some cases are starting school this week or next week, that's before that kindergartner gets out of elementary school.
And just so we know what you're talking about, in Milwaukee, per se, it's 30,000 kids.
30,000 students last year used the parental choice program. We won't have this year's counts until the third, late September, early October. But it's been a pretty stable number for some period of time.
So it's now been a year and a half since Brenda Casilius came in as superintendent.
Yep.
How much contact do you have with her as far as, because she does not seem, at least from what I've read, we've yet to actually interview her. She doesn't come across as anti-parental choice.
I don't think I'm putting words in her mouth. I think she's on record as saying she's not a big supporter of the voucher program, and her job is to run Milwaukee Public Schools, and she sees that as her primary responsibility. And so, at this point, there's very little interaction. There are some specific issues around special education where private schools have to interact with the district because they can't receive those federal dollars directly. MPS does. But across most of the other domains, there's very little interaction between MPS and private schools.
Because it feels like if you're serious about sunsetting a program like this, having everyone on board would be smart as far as how would MPS absorb those students and how can the programs themselves work together with MPS to have better solutions. Is there any kind of table that everyone comes across or comes and sits down to and tries to talk about these things?
I should be super clear. No, and I don't think there should be, at least if the conversation is how do we wind down the program, because I just...
Oh, no, I don't mean wind down the program. I mean for what your mission is, which is getting a quality education for all Milwaukee kids.
Look, I do think that there are more conversations that we need to be having. We've talked, before about the Milwaukee Reading Coalition, the effort to tackle, Milwaukee's worst in the nation outcomes for early literacy, especially for Black students, right? There are efforts like that are underway. There are challenges that we all know that we face together. Chronic absenteeism is another one that comes to mind, making sure that high school students are prepared for whatever comes next. I do think there are productive cross-sector conversations that are happening on any number of issues. And I think Superintendent Casilius, MPS leadership, they're all included in that. What I think we're missing, or what I think maybe politicians from outside of Milwaukee are missing, is that this is a fight that maybe was really loud a decade or a decade and a half ago, but frankly all of us in Milwaukee at this point, we are far more interested in how to ensure that all of our kids get an excellent education, and far less interested in returning to the division and the strife and the sector wars and the fights that have animated too much of this conversation in the political discourse.
Our guest this half hour, Colestin Morgan, Executive Director of City Forward Collective. And for folks who would like to learn more, your website address is?
www.cityforwardcollective.org.
Yeah, he's Colestin Morgan. We're gonna talk about where the money goes, because that's always a question. Like, where do these dollars go that we're pouring into all these school districts? We'll talk about that issue and more on 620 WTMJ's Point Taken with Kristen and Steve, live from the Bank 59 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair.
The saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished. Well, how about a good deed and then getting rewarded for it? Join the WTMJ Street Team with me, Julia Fellow, outside of the Bank 59 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair, Thursday, August 13th from 12 to 2.
Okay, good deed.
Tell us about a good deed you've done or received, and you get a piece of swag.
Hello? Good deed done.
It's that easy.
There's just so many good deeds.
To us? A whole day dedicated to us? No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan. Come celebrate WTMJ Day with us, your favorite WTMJ hosts, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, August 29th. Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us, plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Rangers at AmFam Field. Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJ.day.com. Tickets are going to go fast, so sign up today. We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, August 29th, sponsored by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's with catering courtesy of Leff's Lucky Town.
Catch a battle between two of the National League's best when the Brewers take on the Braves Friday, August 21st and Saturday the 22nd. It's a weekend of great matchups and great events as the Brewers celebrate Black Culture Fest at the opener Friday the 21st, featuring live art, live music performances, and a maker's market. Then it's Hank Aaron replica jersey giveaway day on the 22nd, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at brewers.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know inspiration's in full swing this time of year. So bring us your wild ideas, and we'll bring the value on the quality supplies you need to make it happen at unbeatably low prices. Right now, during our summer jean sale, Ariat Western jeans are 25% off. $5 off men's Dickies jeans starting at $29.99. Plus, get a $10 rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. Find value on everything to do your thing. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation? Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Stephen Chris and Point Taken, that is, broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studio at Wisconsin State Fair. Opening day coming out. Looks like some sun's starting to pop through. Lots of people are already here enjoying the cream puffs, cotton candy, pizza, beer, of course. And we are joined in studio by Calissa Morgan. He is the executive director of City Forward Collective. So one of the real questions, and I love questions like this, not just because I'm asking the question, but people go, where does this money go that we're pouring into Milwaukee public schools or other districts, anywhere really in the state of Wisconsin? Where does, let's say if they put $10 in, where's it going?
Yeah, so we've talked before. The state spends about $14 billion on education in total, but let's make it
simplify it.
Yeah, right? Like $10 bill. About $9.10 of that is going to traditional public school districts across the state.
That's a big number.
That's a big number, right? It's more than 90%. And then, of the change that's left over, you've got a little bit that's going to public charter schools, 14 or 15 cents, I think. You've got about the same amount that's going to the private school choice program.
So it's not, I think people were thinking it was like 40% or something. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, right? But the reality is you take this program and you zero it out statewide, which is, what's being promised. And you can, you don't have enough to get started on any of the real challenges that we're facing. It doesn't buy down property taxes any appreciable amount. It doesn't solve our special education funding issues. What it does do is move 1 in 4 students in Milwaukee and more than 50,000 students across the state into a state of limbo. And frankly, to the extent that those kids are being driven back into traditional school districts, it makes the challenges that those districts are facing even more acute.
So what would you say to people who say directly, one of the commenters last week said vouchers take money from MPS, Madison, Milwaukee?
As clearly as I can say it, as it pertains to Milwaukee, vouchers do not take money from MPS anymore. That has been solved. Vouchers do not take money in general from any school district. Vouchers deliver dollars, or the parental choice program delivers dollars to parents to choose a school for their kids.
This is going to be a really hard question. So it's more of like a formula answer versus an exact dollar amount.
Sure.
But how much does it cost to fund a school?
It is an easy and a hard answer. And I think it's a question that we haven't asked in this state for a very long time. It depends on so many different things, right? And I almost think the better way to think about it, we've talked about this before, is what does it take to educate a kid? Because I've got 2 daughters, and what my oldest and my youngest need are very different, right? You've got a student who, has a learning disability or is not an English speaker as their first language. It takes a different dollar amount to serve them. So, I wish I could give you
No, and I knew it's more complicated than that, but because right now we talk about like cost per, like money that goes per child, and like, is that the right way? Is it, and the I see it on our text line, right? As far as people saying school, this is the most money that we've ever allocated to schools, but it's also the most expensive anything and everything has ever been, right? And so it's like when we talk about whether it's the line of fully funding our public schools, funding voucher programs, like what is the public who does not work in education miss as far as how much money it actually needs to to do this well?
I think maybe the most important thing to note, like, this is a people-intensive business, right? 80 cents on the dollar in some cases, and that's true across, a district school, a public charter school, a private school. Somewhere between 60 to 80 cents on the dollar is going back out directly in the salaries and benefits. And so the dollars that we're investing in K-12 education are, by and large, dollars we're investing in people. To some extent in buildings, that's probably the second biggest area of spend, but even that is dwarfed by how much we spend on people. So when we talk about investing in what are sort of quintessentially middle class jobs, teachers, principals, all of the associated things that make a school run, that's what we're talking about when we talk about paying into K-12 education.
I'm a big fan of efficiency, private sector, public sector. Could you make the argument that the parental choice program actually saves dollars teaching kids?
Yes, and I want to be careful about not overextending that argument, right? Like, it is true right now that we spend less per pupil in the private school choice landscape than we do in the public school district. There are some costs that public school districts carry that private schools don't. I think this gets overblown sometimes, but there are certain things that are either required, or in many cases it's legacy costs, right? It's pensions for former employees, that type of thing that you may have to cover. Let me go back to that point I just made, though. Most of the dollars that we spend in K-12 education are going to people. So when we talk about doing it more efficiently, what I worry that sometimes gets lost in the sauce is that means paying people less. And we see that in Milwaukee. Teachers in our public charter and private schools get paid maybe 25 to 30% less than teachers at Milwaukee public schools right now. That's directly the same gap that we were just talking about in terms of how much they get in.
Well, and because I know I have friends who teach at private schools, and I know they are certainly taking second jobs, and we know that public school teachers are taking second jobs too. And so I'm glad you made that point as far as how much, when we talk about funding schools, it's the same conversation as incentivizing and paying teachers more.
Yes, look, I get it. We're having a conversation about waste, fraud, and abuse in government. There's not a ton of that to be found, and where we have found it, we've seen the district, attack it and address it. But the reality is, most of these dollars are going to teachers. Most of these dollars are going into classrooms. We need to make sure that is the case. And when it's not the case, wherever that's not the case, that's when we should act.
Glessa Morgan, Executive Director of City Ford Collective, nonprofit working to ensure there's a greater Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family. Appreciate you coming into the State Fair studio.
Of course. Thanks for getting me in here early.
All right, quick break on Point Taken. Kristen and Steve live from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair on 620 WTMJ.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
The only thing better than a ball game on a warm summer evening? The tailgate. Calling all fans, Saturday, August 29th is WTMJ Day, our tailgate outside American Family Field. Come meet the WTMJ team before the Brewers take on the Rangers. WTMJ Day is presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, also catered by Left's Lucky Town. For more information, head to WTMJ.com or text tailgate to 855-616-1620 right now. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, need to call off at the fair? Head over to Left's Lucky Town Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill. Awesome folks, great food, great beer. They fuel us here at the Bank 59 studio, so I love those guys. Check out their brand new Sip-Consin cocktail bar. Sip-Consin cocktail. That's hard to say. Featuring handcrafted drinks like the Patriotic Punch and the Strawberry Cheesecake Blast. That'd be more my thing. While you're there, grab some great Wisconsin-inspired food and relax right in the heart of the State Fair action where we are. And I love Left's because I've done events there, I've done remotes there, I've been there for dinner, I've had beers there, met people, I've seen turkeys walk right in their little area because those toasted turkeys are everywhere.
You think they have big legs?
I don't know.
Big turkey legs?
So we have an exciting second hour from the Wisconsin State Fair Bank 59 studio. We have, of course, Jeremy Janine. And then we're going to
back. He wasn't here last week. We got him back.
We're going to boot him out of here at some point because the governor of the state of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, is going to join us as well. So busy show today. The day one of our run and Wisconsin State Fair. Hope you can stop and say bye and say hi and bye and wish us a great show, great run at the fair. The news is next on 620 WTMJ.
I'm John Mercure, excited to be joined by Dr. David Kornreich. He is an orthopedic surgeon at the Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Dr. Kornreich, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
I want to begin by asking you about your story. How did this come about for you?
I'm a general orthopedic surgeon. I've been working here in Milwaukee for 25 years, but I always had an interest in science and physics and biology, and to me it's just a fascinating opportunity to learn from my patients and help get them back doing the things they love to do.
What does a general orthopedic surgeon do?
So we specialize in musculoskeletal injuries, so people who hurt their arms, their legs, bring the full suite of care for strains, sprains, fractures.
Dr. Kornreich, a lot of people get intimidated when they think about orthopedics. Will I actually get to see a doctor? Am I going to see 1,000 people before that ever happens? One of the things that sets OHAU apart is that that's not how the process works at OHAU. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we believe strongly that the multiple stumbling blocks and hurdles to actually seeing somebody who can efficiently take care of your problem is a problem in healthcare. The most knowledgeable person should see you about your problem as soon as possible so we can get you back to doing the things you love, which is not being in the doctor's office.
Tell us about what makes OHAU physicians stand out.
First of all, it's our quality. Everybody I work with, very simply put, all of them I would let operate on me, every last one of them, without reservation.
Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, I've been to the facilities, best imaging, best facilities, best physical therapists. Talk about how important it is to be able to marry all those things together where you're being treated.
Although I said, the specialist is the thing you want to get in to see, there is a team approach, right? We live off the backs of our physical therapists who do a wonderful job. Our imaging technologists are spectacular. We have CT and MRI, so CAT scan and MRI, which is advanced imaging.
It's easy to start your journey to feeling better with the teams I trust. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Request an appointment. You deserve to feel better. Dr. David Kornreich is an orthopedic surgeon at Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Thank you, Dr. Kornreich.
Thank you.
Every child in foster care deserves someone who believes in them. That's why La Causa is looking for more foster parents.
They never really checked on me, and that's why I appreciate La Causa tremendously, because they were the ones that showed me we care. I met my La Causa team, all brilliant people, and people that wanted to see me succeed.
That kind of care can change a life. Learn how you can become a foster parent with La Causa at lacausa.org.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
There's no place like home. And nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates today at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 103.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 12:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 11:02, it's 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and we'll see a high today up around 76. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Neil Doyle. A Republican-led Senate panel voting to hold former White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress for refusing to answer questions about his guidance during the COVID-19 pandemic.
This case will now be referred to the Department of Justice, who will then decide whether or not to further investigate and prosecute Dr. Fauci. But this goes beyond just this congressional effort, too. I think it's important to note that the attorneys general for the states of Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana have opened up state probes as well into Dr. Fauci's decision-making into the pandemic.
To News Nation's Tom Dempsey reporting, Senator Rand Paul saying because Fauci was issued a sweeping pardon by President Biden, there was no reason for him to not answer the questions. A teen accused of killing his grandmother found contempt to stand trial. Prosecutors say Edward Barbara was just 15 years old when his 68-year-old grandmother, Elizabeth Totsky, was found unresponsive on the floor of her home in South Milwaukee last August. Totsky died at the hospital 4 days later. Court documents show Barbara initially told police that her grandmother had a stroke while cooking, but injuries to her neck suggested that she had been strangled. The teen was initially found not competent for trial, but the ruling was reversed this week. Barbara, charged with first-degree intentional homicide, could face life in prison if convicted. A firefighter injured responding to a structure fire on Milwaukee's northwest side.
We do have smoke and some flames showing. We believe the fire is in the rear of this structure. We have 13s going in to investigate now.
That audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Crews were called just after midnight to the area of Fond du Lac and Locust. The fire was in a 5-story building that was unoccupied. One firefighter suffering a minor injury was taken to the hospital. The cause of that blaze under investigation. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything taking a bit of a turn now in the red. The Dow at 53,976. That's off about 370 points. The NASDAQ is down 57 at 26,300. And the S&P 500 is off about 21 points at 7,702. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. and at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One called That's All Sports Desk. Some day baseball over at AmFam. Series finale between the Brewers and Pirates. Crew coming off a 4-2 victory last night. Starter Kyle Harrison, first time back on the bump in nearly a month, was pretty dominant, had 10 strikeouts, 8 of them in a row at one point. Brewers president of baseball operations, Matt Arnold.
So good to have him back on the mound, and he was doing well, and he was cramping up. I think the inning before, I got a message that he was cramping a little bit, but then it kind of calmed down a little bit. But once he went back out to throw, it sounded like it started to flare up a little bit on him.
Team saying after no major concerns, just some of that cramping for Harrison. And newly acquired Brewers pitcher Dustin May scheduled to take the mound this afternoon at American Family Field. All of our coverage coming up at 12:35 right here on WTMJ. Packers training camp continuing, a closed practice today, but the team gearing up for family night, which is tomorrow at Lambeau Field. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We are seeing a little bit of congestion right around the State Fair Park as people are making their way into the fairgrounds. So as you get off the system and trying to make your way into the parking lots, just use a little bit of caution and just use some patience, but everything kind of moving along. Good news is really no problems on 94 as you are making your way to State Fair Park, and everything else looking pretty good. As for your forecast, partly cloudy skies throughout the rest of today. We'll see a high around 76 degrees. Tonight, then cloudy, a low down to 65. Into Friday, will be sunny, warm, and humid. We could maybe see a late shower or storm, a high of 83. And then into the weekend, plenty of sunshine on Saturday. Slight chance for maybe a shower or storm with a high of 81. Right now, 73 degrees in Green Bay. We're sitting at 74 in West Dallas, and it's 73 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
11 o'clock on a Thursday means it's time for a full hour of city stories with urban Milwaukee president Jeremy Janine on Point Taken.
Jeremy Janine in studio at the Bank 5-9 studio at State Fair. I am Kristen. He's Steve. Jeremy's here. We didn't make you come through the back like the help. We let you come in through the front door this time.
Real formal guest.
I even got handed a water.
You did, because I was standing there. That's why.
All right. Well, you were on a break last week.
Did anything happen in the governor's race while I was gone?
Yeah.
We're not even going to start there. We're going to start with something that everyone loves to talk about, accounting.
Well done.
Oh, yes. All right. Whipfly.
Yes.
Tell me about Whipfly.
This is only going to be a good news segment, I think, and this is downtown Milwaukee has landed another corporate headquarters, Whipfly, a company you might not have heard of, but you've probably seen the sign near the Zoo Interchange, is moving from Wauwatosa, the Milwaukee County Research
I just saw that sign.
Look at that.
Yeah, because I went by there yesterday.
And now you'll see it on 794 because they're going to move into the Huron building, which is on the corner of Broadway and Clybourne. If you're looking for a landmark, Tupelo Honey is on the first floor. It's right on the other side of 794 from the Milwaukee Public Market. But 169 jobs, but that's only a portion of the company. It is the 23rd by revenue, the 23rd largest accounting firm in the United States, headquartered right here in Milwaukee County, and soon in downtown Milwaukee. They're going to occupy what could be the entire 6th floor of the Huron building.
I love these stores. I love when headquarters come to downtown. That's good for the city.
It's good for the city.
Absolutely.
Also good for the city. More housing.
More housing. So we have
So this is across the street from us.
Yes, not today, but normally we could just point out the window.
Yeah.
And the blue building is now 310W, but you probably know it as the blue building on the corner of Vel Phillips and Wisconsin Avenue. If you're a longtime Milwaukee and you're probably thinking this is full of federal offices. Well, after 9/11, security procedures changed. A lot of those tenants have moved out. The federal government's also downsized slowly over time its office needs. In this building, it's the largest office building in Westtown, so the west side of downtown Milwaukee, but it is mostly vacant. And now the eastern half of it, it's really 2 towers, as I described to Kristen, covered in a glass skin. What you see from the outside looks like one big building. It's really 2 14-story buildings with a massive atrium. The eastern half of it along MLK Drive is going to have 220 apartments.
What level of apartments are we talking?
So we kind of got a mix going on. We have some market rate, and then the reason the announcement came out yesterday is the city is going to provide $6.44 million to a $74 million project, and in exchange, 50 of the apartments are going to be set aside for individuals making between 70% and 90% of the area median income. If you're like, who is that? It's probably a public school teacher. It could be even a new police officer. Anyone kind of in a entry-level middle-class job almost certainly qualifies in that income range.
And which developer's taking on the project?
Time Equities, who bought the building in 2019, they paid something like $17 million for it. They invested another $17 million in renovating it in 2019. We all know what happened in 2020. It really doomed the project in terms of reactivating it as office space, but it has many good bones now in terms of the mechanicals were updated, all that kind of back-of-the-house stuff.
Since we're talking about housing and development, let's talk about what they do to redevelop the Milwaukee Public Museum site, the old museum.
So this is our last thing for this segment, and that good news, and that is that the county is moving forward on a plan to sell the existing Milwaukee Public Museum site. It's really 3 buildings if you break it down. Right. There's the 1962 museum that you're most familiar with. If you're a kid of a certain age like Kristen and I, you might have went to Discovery World. That's vacant and kind of hidden back there. And then there's what used to be a theater right on the front, which is also essentially vacant. The museum uses it sporadically for programming. That entire complex likely will come down, 3.7 acres. Bids are due October 12th if you're interested in buying it. There's a 385-point scoring system. Price is only 10 of those points, so we're going to see lots of different proposals. There's a desire to see some mix of housing with an affordability.
That's what I was going to ask you, what's going to go in there.
Well, I was also going to ask, are the Friends of the Old Streets of Milwaukee going to try to buy it so they can save it? One last ditch effort?
The request for proposals does have a model of here's the building if you wanted to keep it, and here's the components. It's actually the tunnels to get on to Kilbourne or get on and off from Kilbourne from Interstate 43 are actually connected to the building, so that's going to be an issue demolishing the building. So maybe the Streets of Old Milwaukee preservation crowd can make its case to keep the building because of that.
Sort of a weird story, but at some point that museum closes and the new one opens. How does that stuff get moved?
That's actually been happening already.
Yeah,
it has.
They are moving stuff.
So as part of all this, more than a year ago, Milwaukee Public Museum opened what will now be the Nature and Cultural History Museum, opened a new facility, a new warehouse, and it's moved some stuff into there temporarily. It's also the Streets of Old Milwaukee in particular just shut down a tiny portion of it. The European Village, kind of the annex to it, I believe is closed now, but it's slowly shuttering these facilities, fixing up the artifacts, and then transitioning them over to the new facility.
I haven't been there lately. Does it feel different? Is it starting to feel emptier?
It has for at least 6 months now. It's been okay, you can tell something is happening here.
Oh, interesting.
Do they ever, and if you don't know, just say you don't know, do they ever sell some of their collection to other museums?
I don't know about other museums.
Because not everything's going to go over.
Graham Kilmer, our county government reporter, has written a lot about I think the word is deaccessioning the materials and transitioning them back to Native American groups, because some of the ways Milwaukee County ended up owning some of these items 120 years ago is a little bit suspect, so they've repatriated some of those items. But I don't know what gets transferred. There's a lot. Most of the collection, actually, of the museum is in storage.
That's not uncommon for museums.
Right, yes.
I spend way too much time watching shows about museums.
You do.
That's why.
Yeah, that's true. All right, when we come back, Duke's on Water, new tenants. Not what you would expect. So stay with us on Point Taken.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve. We had so much fun in Mexico last year in Cancun. My wife, Kathy, and Fox Rule Travels Rose Gray. There's somebody you want to travel with. And I are going back. We're going to Cabo. And I'm geeked up thinking about it because I've never been there, and it's on the other side of Mexico. And this next February, 2027, we're heading to the Sea of Cortez at an awesome resort, Dreams Los Cabos Suites Golf Resort and Spa. And I highlighted that golf thing in there because I'm going to be golfing on that trip as well. And you can too. Join us. Some unbelievably incredible golf courses. But if that's not your thing, they also have unlimited luxury, gourmet dining, top shelf drinking, pools, all that stuff, endless activities. We do some fun stuff with listeners. We do some fun stuff away from site. It's all included. Last year's trip sold out fast right away. I think we have a few spots. We sold 5 the other day and more yesterday. Don't miss out on this trip. On the remaining seats, we'll sell it out. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO today. Join me in Mexico, 866-GO-FOX-GO.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal option to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I'm Kristen. He's Steve. We're talking to Jeremy and Janine on a Thursday at the Bank 59 studio at State Fair, because it is the first day. Make your plans to get on down here. All right. R.I.P. Dukes on Water. I've played beer pong, and I'm sure you have too at some point in your life.
I don't know that I've ever played beer pong there, but I've had plenty of the dollar beers.
Fair enough. All right. But not a bar is going to replace it. It's closed
in May.
3 or 4 months a month.
So Duke's used to be Mel's on Water. It was something else before that. Duke's was there for about 20-some years. It's right on the corner of Water and Juneau, kind of the heart of the Water Street Bar District. It closed in May. At that point, Varsity was attached to it. It was always Scooters for a long time before that. There's I think the beer pong was actually in whatever that annex bar was. The Duke's half, the part that is on Water Street, landed a new tenant according to an occupancy permit. But like you teased, it's not what you expect. The new tenant is the Milwaukee Police Department.
Which honestly kind of makes sense when you think about how often there's an increased presence of police on Water Street at bar time these days. Like, is that part of the reason why they were like, this is a good spot for us?
It's a lot of questions I have there. The police won't comment. The mayor's office didn't get back to me right away. I did talk to a number of sources actually in the lead up to this, what's going to happen. And then yesterday while reporting the story, the police department isn't opening, as far as everyone that will actually talk to me is aware, isn't opening a substation there. But they are going to use this as a spot to store some stuff. It's 1,100 square feet, at least on the first floor. They also get basement storage. They're going to have bathrooms for the police, all that kind of stuff that maybe allows them to stay out there a bit longer. There were concerns before, going back several months, about the police could enforce the curfew. And logistically, the issue was they had to drag all these essentially kids across town to the District 1 police station over by the courthouse. That didn't seem logistically possible. It doesn't seem like they're solving that here. There's no plan to build holding cells.
Yeah.
The only change from a structural perspective that they're asking to make right now is to close that connection between what was Varsity or Scooters before that. So it'll just be half the bar will be this police hangout, I guess.
And then what it was Varsity Scooters could still be a bar?
Could still be a bar, but one thing I've been told by 2 different sources, there isn't a real estate transaction record yet, and this person, as of just before airtime, had not responded to me, but Kendall Brunig, who is representing Milwaukee School of Engineering and everything Water Street related, why does MSOE care? They own most of the land on the east side of Water Street, right across from the Bar District. They have a student housing complex, and they own the parking lot there. So they have a real vested interest. Kendall's been representing them, big real estate investor in town. He supposedly bought this building. There's no record of that yet, but I've been told that for several weeks now, that he was eyeing it and was going to buy it.
So he would be the landlord for the MPD.
Yeah, and supposedly he's just giving them the space for the time being, and he's not looking to open other bars, and he's even interested in perhaps buying other properties of bars that are shuttering.
Any comment from current business owners in that area about this idea?
I did not reach out to any active business owners in my reporting, mostly just stuck to the political side of the aisle, trying to figure out getting a comment from MPD on the record, which never came.
He is Jeremy Janine. UrbanMilwaukee.com. Where is the now famous tchotchke shop that we've given so much publicity to?
The corner of Milwaukee and Mason in downtown Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
And online at Urban Milwaukee, the store, all things Milwaukee and Wisconsin pride.
And Jeremy's here every Thursday for a reason, because he's a great local journalist. And if you're looking for a great resource to find out what's happening in Milwaukee, it's one of the reasons he's here again. UrbanMilwaukee.com, great place to start. Especially if you're someone new to the city. It's all there for you, all the stories, and you're going to get the nitty-gritty on what's happening in the city and county and all things Milwaukee. It's a great, great resource. Check it out. And it's one of the things we love to do is bring you local news here. So we'll take a quick break from the Bank 5-9 studio. She's Kristen, I'm Steve, he's Jeremy, Janine, and we'll continue the conversation after this on 620 WTMJ.
The saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished. Well, how about a good deed and then getting rewarded for it? Join the WTMJ Street Team with me, Julia Fellow, outside of the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair, Thursday, August 13th from 12 to 2.
Okay, good deed, good deed.
Tell us about a good deed you've done or received, and you get a piece of swag.
Hello? Good deed done.
It's that easy.
There's just so many good deeds.
Hey, have you thought about your legacy but aren't sure where to start? Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar. This is tomorrow at 2 p.m. More giving, less guessing. I will be there. CEO Dave Spano. That's a great draw. Estate planning attorney Alec Durand will discuss smart charitable giving, estate planning, and how to leave a lasting impact with confidence. These are great. I've done a bunch of these. Great information. You can ask questions. Reserve your spot today at annexwealth.com/events.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. That was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga. Nobody likes backups, not on I-94 and definitely not in your own backyard. That's why I'm so glad we called Comfort Awnings. Now our outdoors time isn't delayed by rain or the scorching afternoon sun. One touch of a button gives us instant shade and shelter while also protecting us from harmful UV rays. So instead of heading inside when it gets too hot or starts to rain, we can enjoy the patio for longer. Don't let any more of the summer pass you by. Right now, get $200 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. Every week we explore the trails and waterways of Wisconsin in the great outdoors. It's a great state on a great lake. Join me every Saturday, every weekend on WTMJ Outdoors.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
If you're spending the day at the Wisconsin State Fair, make sure you stop by Leff's Lucky Town's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill at the corner of Grandstand Avenue and 2nd Street. It's the perfect place to take a break with great food, cold drinks, free live entertainment, and this year's new favorites like the Chimmy Brat Changa and candied bacon cheese curds.
Rich.
I'm going to try one. That feels like one that you can have. If it's good, you maybe have one.
I know it's a cliche, but at some point we will try these live on our show next week because you're off tomorrow. But we'll get to some of this stuff.
Will we bring back the famous viral Instagram videos of you and I eating.
Yeah, right. That's right. And we're certainly going to have a grilled cheese sandwich because that's one of my favorite things at the fair. All right.
I'm in for the chimichanga.
Does that sound good to you?
I'll give it a whirl.
It sounds
got
good.
It's got to be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
Good answer.
Well, the broccoli.
Good answer.
Fine. We have only a short amount of time left with Jeremy, so we will get to it. All right. So the county has selected the developer to buy the medical examiner building?
Yeah, are you familiar with the medical examiner?
No, I'm not.
It looks like the entry to a hospital because that's what it was.
I was there once.
When it was a hospital for the medical examiner. Well,
medical examiner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is on Highland Avenue at about 9th Street. It is the back of what was St. Anthony Hospital. Earlier this year, Milwaukee County listed it for sale. The medical examiner is moving into a new purpose-built facility for medical examinations in Wauwatosa. So we're gaining Whitfley and we're losing the medical examiner.
Okay.
The state crime lab, which is down on the south side near Lapham Boulevard, is also moving out there. And there's one other facility that's co-locating. There was this pandemic era project coming out to Wauwatosa. Good facility because it's going to make all those operations more efficient. But that leaves the surplus, what was an entry to a hospital downtown. It's somewhere in the ballpark of 50,000 square feet. It's in our article on Urban Milwaukee. But it's what was the entry to St. Anthony Hospital, and the historic St. Anthony Hospital is already a housing complex for people that were experiencing homelessness. And the county has selected, it hasn't revealed how many bidders there were, it hasn't revealed what the plans are yet, and it hasn't revealed what this person would pay, but it's selected Zuina Cotton, who now owns the other side of the hospital complex. She bought it from Heartland Housing when they collapsed a couple of years ago. They were a social-focused housing organization based out of Chicago. She bought the existing St. Anthony Hospital, which faces Milwaukee County Jail. She's now buying the medical examiner building. It's unclear what she would do, although I have to imagine there's some redevelopment plan in the works, because a one-story squat building is probably not suitable for much.
I've never heard of her before. So what is her background that she has the money to be buying buildings like this?
This was a question raised about the St. Anthony Hospital. She got a fairly large mortgage supported by WIDA, the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority there. She is pursuing development on Mitchell Street, and she has been doing that for quite some time. And then she also, based on public records, is an Amazon delivery operation operator, because when you see those Amazon trucks, they're not actually owned by Amazon. There's these third-party franchisees, just like a McDonald's, and she is one of those operators.
Okay.
We talked a lot about things going to be other things in development. It sort of suggests more of a general question that there's a strong interest in downtown Milwaukee, which is a good thing.
I think so. And one of the key things going back to April 2025 was the city rolled out that new TIF policy. Here's how we're going to subsidize creating this kind of mid-market affordable housing. And you're seeing that now. We've talked about the Blue Building earlier today. I wouldn't be shocked if that same formula gets plugged in here. The city has said we're open for business. It seems like the development community is responding.
And real quick, we don't have a ton of time, but Milwaukee's going after the illegal sales of tobacco, alcohol, and THC to young people.
Yeah, they've already had penalties on the books for this, but Peter Bergelis found out that the city was not enforcing what the state maximum penalties could be, so he said he wants to make Milwaukee the most expensive place to sell harmful products to children in the state of Wisconsin. Seems like a fair goal. They're boosting the look-back period, so if you get repeat fines, instead of looking back 12 months, it's now going to be 30 months, which state law allows, and then the max fine goes from $5,000 to $10,000, and there's all kinds of small other fine increases in there.
Has this been one of those sort of the wink, wink, nod, nod, this behavior has been happening, we've sort of looked the other way stories that we have in Wisconsin?
So all these laws have been on the books, and the city enforces them to a certain extent, but the penalties for it aren't very severe. They're just a couple $100. Now those cash penalties are getting much higher.
Is this usually like liquor stores, and like who are we talking about as far as like the people who are the worst offenders of this?
The concern is like a convenience store operator or a gas station operator has an employee that's selling cigarettes to kids or THC products like Delta 8 to kids, or they're even selling liquor to kids, or straw purchases where an adult comes in and then just hands the bottle. The council routinely sees those type of things on license renewal hearings, but the penalties are just so small, and now essentially they're doubling across the board.
That voice you're listening to from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair is Jeremy Janine. He is the founder and president, and what other titles you have over there?
Janitor, accountant, bookkeeper, sure.
Fire.
He does everything. Again, I said it before, a great local resource. He's sticking around for one more segment. Don't forget the governor of the state of Wisconsin will join us in studios in a little bit here from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair opening day.
Hey,
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says reports of the military running low on key munitions are concerning. ABC contributor and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Mick Mulroy says
that is, of course, concern militarily from a security point of view, but it also somewhat restricts the president's decision making when it comes to escalating, not escalating, and how long this war will last. So this does have a direct strategic and tactical impact on our operations.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said a Washington Post reported dust-up between President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over the stockpile, quote, never happened. A Senate committee voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress after he refused to answer their questions last week. And federal officials say jalapeno peppers linked to a salmonella outbreak have been traced to a grower in Mexico. The FDA says 93% of people they interviewed reported eating at a Mexican-style restaurant in a one-month period. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Neil Doyle. The owners for On the Border Gentlemen's Club pled not guilty to keeping a place of prostitution. The strip club ended operations last month after the Franklin Common Council revoked multiple operating licenses. The revocations came after police were involved in a multi-year investigation into alleged prostitution, human trafficking, and drug use at the club. That also includes felony charges against the club's former general manager, Brian Hopkins. If convicted, the owners could face up to 6 years in prison. The former UWM at Washington County campus is completing its transformation into a private K-12 school. The county officially completed the sale to Ozaki Christian School, which is now known as Faith Ridge. Classes will start in the new building this fall. Comes after the Washington County Charitable Foundation sued to block the sale, arguing that the past donations required the building to be used for public education. A judge denied their request for an injunction. The Wisconsin State Fair officially underway and, of course, is full of attractions, but one of the biggest and the crowd favorite has 4 legs.
The Canine Sports Arena features talented dogs racing through agility courses before launching off a dock into a pool, all while competing for distance. The current record, well, that's more than 31 feet.
Which is pretty spectacular, especially because our pool is only 40 feet long and we're measuring from the backside.
Co-owner Larry Schrader tells WTMJ.
We're just an open competition venue. We travel around the state putting on competitions, and people hear about us and they get interested in it, and some of them start from scratch. Some of these dogs are just born jumpers.
At the Wisconsin State Fair, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red. The Dow sitting at 54,021. That's off about 330 points. The NASDAQ down 55 at 26,300. And the S&P 500 is off about 17 points at 7,706. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the road, your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are starting to see volume pick up on 94. Of course, we have the State Fair underway, and we have some day Brewers baseball at American Family Field. So we are seeing a little bit of volume 94 between 76th and 35th. You'll kind of be tapping your brakes as you make your way through the stadium interchange and kind of near State Fair Park. The grounds around the State Fair, not looking too bad. We are seeing, people trying to make their way into the parking lots, but no major issues. Everything else moving along nicely. As for your forecast, partly cloudy skies. We'll see a high around 76, and then tonight, partly cloudy conditions, a low down to 65. Into tomorrow, we should see more sunshine. Will be a bit warmer and humid with a high of 83. Chance for maybe some late storms as well tomorrow, and then into the weekend, pretty much the same. Sunny, warm, and humid. Chances for maybe some shower and storms on Saturday, high of 81. Right now, 73 degrees in Kenosha. We're sitting at 74 in West Dallas, and it's 73 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, right near Holy Hill. I love the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every night. Desserts and ice cream drinks are delicious, and also buy one, get one free. Enjoy the choice porterhouse steak, the braised pork shank, roast duck, twin lobster tails, the surf and turf. Any entree and your second dinner is free. Relax with your favorite beverage on the patio in the woods. Spectacular views, amazing dinners in the 8 dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. It's a one-of-a-kind summer dining destination. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful easy drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner. And the Friday haddock fish fry is one of the best, and it's all you care to eat. Weekends might be too busy. Enjoy your free dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds Supper Club. Tables are open. Google and reserve.
It's summer now, but you know what's coming down the pike? Yup, cold weather and high heating bills. Gene Miller here, and now is a great time to order new windows from my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. With national brands like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and Softlight, Hometown can offer replacement windows that fit every home, style, and budget. Whether you're looking for wood, Fibrex, fiberglass, or vinyl, Hometown has a product for you. August is Marvin month. Call or stop in to win a Yeti cooler. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
One great day of golf can change lives. Join me, Steve Scafidi, and my co-host Kristen Bry on Monday, August 31st for the Salvation Army of Milwaukee County Swing for the Kettle Golf Invitational at Oakwood Park Golf Course in Franklin.
Your participation directly supports food, shelter, and life-changing programs for children and families throughout our community.
We'll be broadcasting live from the course, but the day is really about you getting golfers and sponsors together to make a difference.
Foursomes, individual golfers, and sponsors are all welcome. Reserve your spot today at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
Back to Point Taken. We are at the Bank 59 studio at State Fair. Very excited to be here today. Chairman Janine is with us, and Tierman Spencer.
Tierman Spencer. Well, he might be at the State Fair, but he's now going to arrive as a convicted felon for the first time because he has multiple criminal cases against him. Largely all stem from this same incident and then discovery in that process. But last Friday, a jury convicted him of a felony misconduct in office for his role as who is Tierman Spencer. He was Milwaukee's city attorney from 2020 until 2024. He lost his re-election bid. Now 69, Spencer was found guilty of a felony. Oddly, he wasn't found guilty of the misdemeanor obstruction of an officer. That was from a voluntary interview when the Milwaukee County District Attorney was investigating the referral they got on a potential crime that Spencer had allegedly not given them his phone like he was supposed to, I believe was their actual charge. Jury didn't find him guilty of that. They did find him guilty. Felony misconduct in office. He has a sentencing date scheduled for September 11th. It is a Class I felony in Wisconsin, which, of course, all the listeners know. So that is a $10,000 fine.
Right.
And no jail, no prison time?
Up to 3.5 years in prison.
Is that likely?
I think that's very unlikely.
Yeah, that would be my take.
Because it's thinking about sending a 69-year-old man to prison, but it has to happen.
I'm sure 69-year-old men and women get sent to prison. But his going back to the Hannah Dugan sentence, can Tierman Spencer reoffend for felony misconduct in public office? Well, no, the voters sent him packing in 2024. So his crime it's a complicated crime, and here's what his crime was. I'll give you the kind of journalist summary of it. The district attorney explains it a bit more at length. But he had a collection of private cars that he stored in a warehouse in Martin Luther King Drive. He didn't want to have to pay for an occupancy permit and all the inspections that were associated with it. Allegedly didn't want to have to pay. So as city attorney for his private car collection, he instructs a deputy who instructs an assistant city attorney. He manages a staff of about 36 people to draft an opinion that says storing vehicles doesn't require an occupancy permit. Then, this is again alleged to have happened, although there's pretty strong record, the Department of Neighborhood Services inspector, who technically is the client of Tierman Spencer, appears at this warehouse, and the owner of the warehouse that Tierman Spencer leases it from produces a memo from the city attorney. So this DNS inspector is all of a sudden faced with a memo that's supposed to be written from their own attorney but is now being used against him to say, you don't need an occupancy permit. It would have saved Spencer a couple $1,000s. The argument isn't that that he pocketed the money, but that he used city resources to avoid expending his own money.
From a journalist perspective, for the folks who don't live or work in Milwaukee and they hear that, they've heard that name maybe on news broadcasts or whatever, seen it on TV, what's the legacy of him?
It's brief that he replaced Grant Langley, who had served for more than 3 decades The legacy, I think, is if you look for one word, it's turnover. That 36-person attorney office, I think more than half of the attorneys had turned over within just a couple of years, not even the full 4 years. Evan Goike's now in there. There's a lot of public talk, at least, about rebuilding it. You do see more action. You see Evan Goike involved in partnership with Common Ground, suing the landlord for the issues there. Lots of different public actions that weren't happening when Spencer was there.
It's a subjective question, but more stability in that department?
I think just looking at from a turnover perspective and objective fact, way more stability.
Okay. Jeremy Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com. Lots more to get to. We may not have the governor because he's running late, but if he is available, we'll whisk him into our Bang 5-9 studio. Scheduling is always insane.
Yeah. He's a man in demand.
Yes, especially for David Crowley. You want him to talk. That's my little op-ed right there. All right, quick break here from the Bang 5-9 studio at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Kristen, Steve, Jeremy for the remainder of this hour, potentially on 620 WTMJ.
Looking for unconditional love? It's waiting for you at Haws, the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County. Every day, animals arrive hoping for something simple, a safe place, a gentle touch, a family to call their own. A wagging tail, a soft purr, a quiet moment on the couch. It could all start with you. When you adopt from Haws, you're not just bringing home a pet. You're giving love, hope, and a second chance. Visit hawspets.org to meet your new best friend. Haws, your shelter, our community. For the animals we love.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. With summer winding down, the kids heading back to school, and everyone's settling into a new routine, it's perfect time to focus on your health and weight loss journey. For me, it was Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've lost 60-plus pounds since last January. I feel better than ever. Just had my annual physical. Doctor says, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I wasn't looking for the quick fix. I wanted something that actually worked for me and my lifestyle. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Changed my relationship with food, what I ate, how I ate, when I ate it. And Milwaukee Weight Loss's program, which I've talked a lot about away from the show, it's doctor-developed, easy-to-follow, doctor-supervised program as well. You lose weight safely, naturally, and you keep it off. I have, and you can too. Thousands of people have done just like me. And if you want to lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 1 or 2 months and then keep that weight off, no intense workouts, no prepackaged stuff, none of the gimmicks that I often hear about, no drugs or injections. And because it's back to school time and we're talking about schedules, why not make a schedule for you? Weight loss is part of that schedule. If you register with Milwaukee Weight Loss by August 31st, you'll receive $200 off the complete program when you enroll before the deadline. So because you're a loyal point-taking listener, $200 off. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, or schedule your free consultation at 262-235-3980, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit RacineCountryClub.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Buy one pizza today, get a second pizza free at the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't cook, don't even think about it. You don't need to clean up either. Call, order, and pick up shortly, or just walk in for your free Thursday pizza, MineShaftRestaurant.com.
We're broadcasting live. Who's we? Me and Kristen Bride. Point taken. The show you should be listening to. If you're not, where are you at? Joining us every Thursday, Jeremy Janine, the guy from UrbanMilwaukee.com, who brings you the best in local news, city and County of Milwaukee. Where are we going next, Jeremy?
Let's go to the corner of North and Humboldt. Can City find a developer for historic Schlitz Tavern? This has been a decade-long odyssey now to save what was. Oh, I got to go through.
Oh yeah. That
you live by
I
this,
live right by there, so it's across the street from the BP.
Across the street from the BP,
and then kitty corner to that empty lot.
Correct. So,
okay.
It's been Zach's North Avenue, the Spruce Goose, Kilroy's Tavern, Hotspot. If you remember any of those, good for you. That means you're a longtime Milwaukeean. If you remember it as a Schlitz Tavern, well, you might want to call someone to get certified for a Guinness World Record because that means you're very old. But it was built in the 1890s, I believe.
Wow.
Or maybe even the 1880s. Charles Kirchhoff, who was an architect for the Eline family and Schlitz Brewing, he built this, what was at one point a very attractive building. It's now fallen into a state of disrepair. Unfortunately, when it snows through all 3 floors of the building at the moment.
Oh, jeez.
And it's been that way. Yeah, it's bad for a long time. There was a proposal to turn it into 3 condos. That sounded good, but it was very hard to finance. That was 2018-ish, 2019. Then Clarence Morse emerged with a food hall proposal. He would just kind of keep the building there as a placeholder and bathrooms and that kind of thing and a bar. And then the lot around the back of it, was going to be kind of outdoor, more like Zocalo, outdoor food trucks. That appears not to be getting financed despite being approved by the city. The building is historically protected. Everyone knows the clock is ticking, though. In 2000, this building was listed as one of the 10 most endangered buildings in Milwaukee. It's the only one on that list that hasn't been renovated from this point, and now that's 26 years ago.
So what happens when something is historically protected? I mean, I guess we're finding out, but like if it's historically protected, but no one can get finance to renovate it, like what appeal process is there for that?
There is a process for historically protected properties, locally historically protected, to be demolished. It does happen every couple of years.
Okay.
If there's no redevelopment plan, the city, who took ownership of this property via tax foreclosure in 2015, is eventually going to have to apply to demolish the building for fear that it might fall over. As we talked about, when it rains through the entire building.
Which is a bummer because it is a cool building. Like if you had the money to do something fun and innovative with it, it would be awesome for that neighborhood. But
one of the challenges is it's a fairly tight lot. It's also a relatively small building. It was built as a tide house for Schlitz back when breweries pre-Prohibition owned their own bars. And it's 7,000 square feet spread across 3 floors. That's really tight to make something work. Hopefully a plan comes forward. The city is offering it for, quote, $5,000, but I'm sure they'll give it to you for a song. And they've even previously offered to throw in some subsidy to make something happen.
Interesting.
The next one, as talk radio topics go, this is probably a top 10 all time. Milwaukee's police chase policy. What's the latest news there?
It continues to move and yet be stuck in neutral. The Common Council voted down a request by the Fire and Police Commission to amend the policy. Fire and Police Commission didn't want to end high-speed chases. They just don't want the police, if they're pulling you over for speeding, when you're going, say, 8 over, be a bad reason to pull you over, going 11 over, and then you start fleeing then, they don't want you to chase in that circumstance. Chase if something reckless has already happened or if there's a bona fide threat to public safety. And their basis for that is that there's a national standard that dictates that 10 people died as a result of police chases in 2025. Fire and Police Commission unanimously asked the council, please make this change. Council in June says no. In July, there's a push by Alex Brower and Charlotte Moore to let's revisit this. It doesn't happen. Council rejects it on what is essentially, or it was, a 6-9 vote on last Friday.
All right, one more segment on Point Taken. For those who are waiting for Governor Evers' visit, the opening ceremonies were delayed. He has promised, he's a politician, so we'll take it for what it's worth, to join us on Monday. I think he's on twice next week, so the governor will join us at some point. We'll wrap up our show from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair with Jeremy Janine after this on 620 WTMJ.
Some days you watch the game. On WTMJ Day, you live it.
Back at the track, wall,
Fire up the grill and join the WTMJ team on August 29th for we watch the crew deliver the highlights.
we are all witnesses.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Big Fish Contracting, Woodman's, and Leff's Lucky Town.
Would you like fries with that?
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Walney Legal specializes in estate planning, wills, trusts, probate, elder care, and special needs planning. The truth is, estate planning is one of those things people put off, but the cost of not planning can be much greater. It's not just about money, it's about protecting your family, your wishes, and your relationships. Walney Legal Group offers clear communication, niche expertise, and personal service, lawyering the way it should be, so you can take care of this now and feel confident moving forward. Visit WalneyLegal.com to start a conversation no matter what phase you're in. Walney Legal, WALNY legal.com.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know inspiration's in full swing this time of year. So bring us your wild ideas, and we'll bring the value on the quality supplies you need to make it happen at unbeatably low prices. Right now, during our summer jeans sale, get a free $20 Blaine's gift card when you spend $70 on Lee jeans for the family. Men's full blue brand jeans, just $10.99. Plus, in automotive, Kurt trailer hitches and accessories are 10% off. Find value on everything to do your thing. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified rock-solid pre-approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 rock-solid seller guarantee. Get started with yours today at ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, we got a couple more minutes with Jeremy Janine at the Bank 5-9 studio at State Fair. It's getting pretty crowded out there.
Yeah, it looks good.
A lot of people.
Sun's out.
All right, Jeremy, dealer's choice of what's left. All right, let's do because the primary is on Tuesday, and so people will be voting. So there was a GOP no-show, but Tammy Baldwin did accept Johnson's invitation to see how Milwaukee votes. How did that go?
It was performative, we'll say, in some respects.
Fair.
Mayor Cavalier Johnson had asked Tom Tiffany, had criticized Milwaukee elections, Wisconsin elections, as I think Steve has been openly critical of. The mayor invites him, come tour the city's election operations. I want to show it to you. I want to help build public trust. No response. Same thing happens with J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance actually responds and says, well, I'm busy today, but I'll see you in Washington, D.C. And the mayor goes, aha, I'm coming in September. No update yet on what's happening there, but stay tuned in September 21st that week. But Tammy Baldwin did drop by last week to see the city of Milwaukee's central count operation, the election warehouse. It's on Kinnickinnick Avenue, just south of Maple Street, just north of Bayview, the south end of Walker's Point. It's a nondescript warehouse. She got a tour from Paulina Gutierrez, the city's election director, and from the mayor. They looked at the equipment. They met with many of the people, including one person who's been there more than 3 decades. In terms of longevity, that's quite impressive in elections, high-stress job. And then they did a press conference afterwards where Baldwin said a lot about, I see there's clear integrity here. I see the checks and the process and the people administering it. And then she pivoted to attacking Donald Trump and mentioning that he just, at every chance, undermines elections. And she took her stand there that she wants to have more free and fair elections.
Okay.
One of the stories I noticed on your extras list was the council rejects mayor's fire and police oversight nominee.
Someone described it to me as the dog caught the tire. And what happened was there was some kind of performative votes against, and I've now used that word twice, sorry, against Jordan Morales. He's a nominee. He's an Air National Guard member, a very vocal Milwaukeean on social media, or at least he used to be in terms of public safety and traffic safety, a big advocate for Cavalier Johnson when he came into office of tackling reckless driving. And he seemed actually like a logical choice then. He's got credentials. He's got a clear public focus. And Marina Dmitrievich said this is no reflection on the individual as a person, but she wanted to go in a different direction. Alex Brower said also, yeah, I had a good meeting with Jordan Morales, but I want to go in a different direction. Kind of a response to what they think is happening with ICE, and they didn't think Jordan was strong enough on that.
What is the other direction?
Well, they didn't make that explicitly clear, other than they want to challenge the status quo. So then the council starts voting. He needs 8 votes to pass. He gets 6 for, 6 against, and then 3 members abstain. Jocasta Zamaripa goes, well, I don't want to abstain anymore. And she needs the consent of everyone to waive that abstention. Bob Bauman says no, knowing that Jocasta, as she admitted to me after the meeting, once she moved her vote from abstention to against, she would then move it to in favor, causing everyone to revote. A little bit of parliamentary sausage making.
Is this more of the sort of disagreement between the members and the mayor?
I think there was a lot of flexing of the council trying to flex its power, and then maybe it didn't realize it was going to go the whole way and reject him completely.
All right, well, I don't know what Jordan Morales is going to do next, but I wish him luck.
I don't think this issue is dead. I think we might see his name come back around.
Interesting. There's some news that we can use. All right, Chairman Janine, UrbanMilwaukee.com. Thanks for hanging out. We know we promised you to have the governor. We'll try to get him on Monday's show. The opening ceremonies at the Wisconsin State Fair ran late. You're off tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow. Have fun with the boys.
Yes, Bill McCosh and Joe Zapecki will join us from the Bank 5-9 studio. I've enjoyed the first day. It's first day of a big long run at the fair. Weather. The sun is shining. People are coming out. I'm staring at the Cream Puff building, or now they call it the Dairy building. I'm going to go have a beer with Jeremy Janine. You got to get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow on the radio. News is next.
Getting your home ready for summer, you cleaned the floors, but they still don't look nice. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Carpet worn, floors scratched up, vinyl dated. Let's get my team from Hunt's to upgrade and replace. The compliments will come all summer long. Happened at my house since we got real hardwood installed at a great price from Hunt's. Hunt's Flooring works efficiently, keeps turnaround times quick, so you're not stuck in a long project. Tell them Vinny sent you. Stop out at Highway 100 in Greenfield or get started at huntsflooring.com.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Light It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this. And Summit Credit Union's got you.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades, and right now, JD Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
There's no place like home. And nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates today at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 103.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 12:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, August 6th. Your top stories, safety first at the fair.
I'm Jessica Ty. Dr. Fauci held in contempt.
A little bit of cloud coverage here at the Wisconsin State Fair Park. Partly cloudy throughout the day today. High 76. Partly cloudy tonight. And an overnight low of 65. 77 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, officials in West Dallas want everyone to have fun during the 11-day run of the fair. But safety, of course, is top priority. Mayor Dan Devine tells WTMJ. Devine hoping everybody has a safe and authentic run at the fair, which runs through August 16th.
A firefighter is hurt after responding to a structure fire on Milwaukee's northwest
We do
side.
have smoke and some flames showing. We believe the fire is in the rear of this structure. We have 13 going in to investigate now.
That's audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Crews were called just after midnight to the area of Fond du Lac and Locust. The fire erupted in a 5-story building. No one was inside, thank goodness. One firefighter suffered a minor injury and was taken to a local hospital. The cause of that fire is now being investigated.
A Republican-led Senate panel voting to hold former White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress for refusing to answer questions about his guidance during the COVID-19 pandemic. Senator Rand Paul said because Fauci was issued a sweeping pardon by President Biden, there was no reason for him not to answer the panel's questions.
This case will now be referred to the Department of Justice, who will then decide whether or not to further investigate and prosecute Dr. Fauci. But this goes beyond just this congressional effort, too. I think it's important to note that the attorneys general for the states of Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana have opened up state probes as well into Dr. Fauci's decision-making into the pandemic.
News Nation's Tom Dempsey.
President Trump's pick for Attorney General Todd Blanche is his confirmation in jeopardy once again, as several Republican lawmakers threaten to vote no. ABC's Catherine Falders has details.
If he doesn't have the support, which is hanging by a thread, Trump has signaled is that he will just keep him acting Attorney General. He can do that, so not really much will change there. I guess the only thing that would change is that Todd Blanche would actually still be also the Deputy Attorney General, so it wouldn't allow Blanche to then put in a deputy under him. But for all intents and purposes, Blanche will still remain at the Justice Department.
Several Republicans remain concerned about what they believe is the weaponization of the Justice Department.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Everything in the red here this afternoon. The Dow's getting smacked, down about 350 points at 53,933. NASDAQ bouncing back and forth, currently about 1.5 points in the red at 26,362. And the S&P 500 down about 12 this afternoon at 77.11. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, East 1203.
When it comes to simple, affordable home improvements, at Les's Glass, you'll find an array of options. Like for bath remodeling, adding a new glass shower door, embeveling the edges of your mirrors, or simply having us install new mirrors to any living space in your home can add a touch of elegance and depth that can really turn a room's frown upside down. Or maybe you're thinking new cabinet doors. Before you write that check, find out how we can make your ordinary cabinet doors beautiful with a variety of glass insert options that can be easily installed into your existing wood cabinets and make a world of difference. And before you pay for new windows, call us to see if our affordable insulated glass replacement services can't save you a few bucks. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass. on Less is Glass. Less is Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Well, every afternoon at 3 o'clock, Left's Lucky Towns Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill is giving you a chance to win Brewers tickets with their Taste Great, Less Filling coin flip games. Pretty simple. Just pick your side. Watch the giant coin flip, and if you're still standing, you could be going to see the crew. And while you're there, enjoy some great food at Left's, cold drinks, and don't forget to ask about the Euchre tournament happening on the final day of the fair. It's Left's Lucky Town here at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Newly acquired starter Dustin May makes his Brewers debut this afternoon in the series finale against the Pirates.
They're getting a guy with a lot of fight. I definitely show a lot of emotion on the mound. I've had a way more successful season than I did last year. My biggest thing is just fastball execution. If I'm being able to execute the fastballs, the off-speed stuff just plays off of it, whether it's in the zone or not.
Brewers looking to take 3 of 4 games in that series. Coverage gets underway at 12:35 this afternoon. Packers begin the preseason a week from today in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Expect to see a lot of rookie Brandon Cisse in the preseason. The rookie second-round pick taking advantage in getting first-team reps with the cornerback group.
I just love what he's all about. I mean, he is an A-plus human, and he loves football. I think every time he goes out there, there's a lot of good things, and then there's a lot of teachable moments, but I think he's a guy that the sky's the limit for him.
Packers' annual family night practice is scheduled for Friday night at Lambeau Field.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's not too bad. It is busy, though. Lots of people coming right here to Wisconsin State Fair for day one. Also, we've got the Brewers game coming up. It is a busy, fun day in Milwaukee. No crashes to report. We love that. We do have a couple disabled vehicles downing the system, including one at I-43 South at the ramp from 8th Street. That's Keefe Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there, and I am seeing a little bit of a delay right around that. Also, another one, I-43 South at 145. That's Fond du Lac Avenue. Right shoulder also blocked there due to a car that just broke down.
Comfortable temperatures, clouds hanging out right now at the Wisconsin State Fair Park, a high of 78 degrees, overnight low in the low 60s. Tomorrow, a little more muggy with a high of 85. Saturday, very similar conditions, muggy with a high of 83. Looks like a better chance of rain on Sunday in the evening hours. High of 84 on Sunday. It's 77 at State Fair Park in West Allis on WTMJ.
Cream puffs, concerts, and carnival rides. Wisconsin State Fair is back, and Wisconsin's Midday News is live from the Bank 59 studios on the State Fairgrounds. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, we made it. Another year. The Wisconsin State Fair is officially here. The fair opening its doors a couple of hours ago, Jessica, I would say, by the look of the crowd. A very happy crowd here at the fair. And as we mentioned, really comfortable temperatures. The sun's not beating down on you. I see plenty of beers and lemonades and even some iced coffees walking around. People settling in to day number one.
Miller Lights before noon in Milwaukee, Greg.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The number is in. We now know nearly 100 million gallons of untreated wastewater floated to Lake Michigan and area rivers during last weekend's storms. MMSD just released that number today. The Sewerage District reports they discharged an estimated 96 million gallons. Why? Well, because about 3.5 inches of rain in nearly 14 hours just overwhelmed the system. Officials say they also treated 37 million gallons of combined sewer flow to reduce the size of the overflow. MMSD says it closed system gates to preserve capacity for sanitary sewage and to help prevent basement backups.
Well, a special marquee screening of the documentary Uke takes place tonight at the Milwaukee's Oriental Theater. The screening kicks off a statewide film tour and features a post-show Q&A with directors Steve Farr and Michael Volman. It'll be moderated by our guy, Adam McKelvey.
It pulls at every emotion, and I think you go in knowing that you're going to laugh. You go in knowing you're going to be sad. There's other themes in there about like trust and friendship and opening up and all kinds of different things going on. Loyalty. It is really an incredible film.
Screening continues at the Oriental Theater throughout the week following tonight's kickoff event. The film remains in Marcus Theaters. Check your local listing. It's not every Marcus Theater here in the state of Wisconsin, and there's different schedule and times throughout the day, depending which theater you may want to go to. But it is on my list to check out here this weekend or early next week.
It is so good. I took my mom on the opening weekend, and you will cry, you will laugh. I got the goosebumps so many times, I couldn't even keep counting. It is just a fantastic film. Well, it is the first day of the Wisconsin State Fair, and this stretch is a significant one. The fair celebrates 175 years this year. The sun is trying to break out here a little bit, very, very comfortable, and organizers love to see that, especially after the way last year's fair ended. The Wisconsin State Fair had to cancel its final day due to record rain and flash flooding on the fairgrounds. 14 inches of rain fell in about 24 hours. State Fair CEO Sherry Black told WTMJ the fair lost more than $2 million in revenue because of that canceled day. Vendors on the ground were hit even harder, collectively losing about $5 million in sales. Many of those vendors are back this year, hoping for an 11-day stretch of wonderful weather, fingers crossed. By the way, if you're coming to the State Fair today, it's Piggly Wiggly $5 day. Enter before 4 this afternoon and bring 2 non-perishable food items or make a cash donation to Hunger Task Force, and you get in for just $5. That's a steal.
Great opportunities to get into the fair.
I saw the Hunger Task Force truck out there. There were tons of people dropping off their non-perishable food items. So you give a little bit for a great cause and you get in for a great deal. The main headliner tonight at the Bank 59 main stage is Hairball.
And you drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. Oh, you keep on shouting, you keep on shouting.
It is 12:12 here on WTMJ. We're a little shortened up this afternoon because of Brewers baseball. It's a really entertaining day with about 4 miles of one another, probably less than that. You've got Brewers baseball against the Pirates, and you've got the fair going on. I don't know, make it a 2-for-1 day. Do one, hop to the other, and really enjoy yourself.
It was so fun driving to the fair because you go past, well, we do going from downtown, we go past American Family Field, and there were already people out there tailgating. So you're going by all these people having fun out by the ballpark, and then you come here and you see more people having fun.
Well, we'll take you all the way up to Brewers baseball this afternoon. 12:35, our coverage begins on WTMJ.
Hey, remember when your basement was just for storage? WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. With Matrix Basement Finishing, they turn that empty space into the heart of your home. It's what they did for us. Whether it's a cozy family movie night or cheering on your favorite team during the best time of the year to watch sports. From the design consultation to picking out your perfect flooring and fixtures, the process is seamless and done at your home. Get the quality craftsmanship you deserve with no payments until 2028. And visit matrixbasements.com.
The saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished. Well, how about a good deed and then getting rewarded for it? Join the WTMJ Street Team with me, Julia Fellow, outside of the Bank 59 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair, Thursday, August 13th from 12 to 2.
Okay, good deed, good deed.
Tell us about a good deed you've done or received, and you get a piece of swag.
Hello, good deed done.
It's that easy.
Could do so many good deeds.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine the experience of a larger law firm with the personal attention you deserve. We take the time to listen, explain your options, and create a plan that's right for you. When the stakes are high, you need trusted legal advocates who will stand by your side every step of the way. Protect your family, your legacy, and your peace of mind. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to schedule a consultation today.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Comfortable temperatures as we begin day one of the Wisconsin State Fair. 78 degrees right now on the fairgrounds. Cloud coverage here. No real threat of rain, just comfortable temperatures, and it'll remain that way throughout the afternoon and evening hours. Come on down. Going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Friday's high 85 degrees, a little more muggy, a little mix of sun and cloud. Saturday's high 83. It's 77 and cloudy at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Well, a coordinated wave of cyber attacks has hit water and wastewater systems across at least 12 states, including more than 30 systems in Minnesota and also sites in New Jersey. U.S. intelligence and federal agencies suspect Iran-backed cyber criminals are behind the intrusions. We welcome an ABC crime and terrorism analyst, Brad Garrett. Brad, drinking water at this point remains safe and uncompromised, but bigger picture here, how significant is the potential for real catastrophe?
Oh, I think the real potential is always there. I mean, if you look, Greg, at the way the system is designed, and it's not its fault, it sort of is what it is, that, you have 150,000 some odd water supply systems, typically controlled by cities and counties around the country. So you start with that, and you think about each one of them are controlled by computers, software, the stuff that we all use every day, type of system that controls the water supply system at that particular jurisdiction. Clearly, maybe Iran, maybe not, but it sounds like at least some of this is Iran, hacked into these systems and disrupted them. Now, I've not heard or read anything that would suggest that they majorly damaged or destroyed them, because they all seem to be able to get back online. So that sort of strikes me as, well, we can mess with you just to let you know that this could potentially be worse. But it's almost like a warning shot.
Yeah.
And could, I don't know if these actors are good enough to do this, could there have been a hack in such a way that they placed malware on the system of that particular water system and destroyed it, which meant it might take months to fix. And so if you multiply that by the thousands, it's obviously a serious problem, potentially.
Brad, why are water systems such an attractive target compared to other systems?
Well, I think water and electricity both are attractive, Jessica, because we can't function without either one of them. They're like vital. And so as a result, I think, and both are vulnerable, is the short answer, to being attacked, that it's an attractive target for adversaries, whether they be state actors or just extremist groups that don't like us for some reason. So it's very difficult to sort of universally protect, because the cities and counties, I think, pretty much control the operation, and rightly so, of their water, electricity, etc. But, are they up to speed? Have they spent the money on computers and software and, all of those things? Well, some have and some haven't. I think we're going to find out that maybe some of these hacks were like really simple to do if you're a hacker, like bad passwords, no passwords, things of that nature that they were able to get into. I've not heard that officially. I'm just going to guess.
Sure.
Based on what I'm picking up. So we'll see.
So at this point, it's nothing more than a disruption. But, Brad, what classified indicators would signal that an attack is escalating from a true disruption to maybe a more serious public safety emergency?
It would really be interesting to know what the federal government knows, because probably buried in some classified documents, there's information about the Chinese, for example, maybe placing malware on certain systems, but it's like asleep, that they could activate that malware. I remember some time back that former FBI Director Chris Wray even told Congress one day in an open meeting about that they found Chinese malware on some of our systems, some of our infrastructure systems, which certainly suggests all of the major adversarial players are poking around. Could they have malware buried on some of these systems? They could. And if that would be true, clearly activating it, they could really cause havoc. Now, one thing that might stop them from doing that is that we can do the very same thing to them. And nobody wants the doomsday approach to dealing with this, which would, if you shut off the water and electricity, we're going nowhere.
We're talking with ABC's Brad Garrett. Brad, Wisconsin utilities were alerted by the state, but I read that Milwaukee Water Works is saying it is not vulnerable to this specific PLC issue because those systems are not internet connected. So I thought, well, that sounds good. But then it was making me wonder, is Milwaukee the exception, or are there quite a few other cities out there like that? Do you have any idea?
No, but also keep in mind, I've heard that story before in other jurisdictions. There still will be people that work for those systems that have remote access, and rightly so. I mean, if you have a water emergency and you're the guy or person who runs it, and it's midnight and you need to get something shut off, you need to be able to remotely go into your system. All good. But it's a vulnerability because you can hack him basically and get into the system. So yeah, are those systems maybe less vulnerable to directly being hacked? Yeah. Are they bulletproof? I don't know enough to say this, but I would tend to think no.
Brad, at what point does a cyber attack on infrastructure like this trigger an actual and real military response from the United States?
Well, I think it would have to be a full-blown, permanent damage, and it would have to be something more than some rural community in Minnesota. Nothing against that community, but let's say, hypothetically, you did that in a large metropolitan city, and you were able to destroy their ability to pump water for months or provide electricity for weeks. That, I would assume, would generate a military response. Well, certainly, we would respond, I think, likewise to their system.
ABC's crime and terrorism expert, always good to be joined by Brad Garrett. Brad, we appreciate your time. Thanks, you.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome. See you guys.
Sure, first pitch is important, but real Brewers fans know the real warm-up starts in the parking lot. Join us for WTMJ Day, the fan-focused tailgate before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, with catering by Left's Lucky Town. Text WTMJ to 855-616-1620 right now. WTMJ Day, before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th.
Well, we got a Brewers game today. We'll take you to American Family Field coming up about 12:35. Hey, check out Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. They are setting the stage here to rock your socks off. The month of August, you can jam out with Real Rock Off. That's what it's called here. That means incredible prizes to the tune of $300,000. Get in on the jam session by playing with your own Potawatomi rewards card. You'll start stacking entries. Thursday nights will be a game show battleground for your share of cash and reward play. It is going to be something. And it's only at Potawatomi. If you're not a rewards member, hey, no problem. Free and easy to sign up. Just do it at the casino. Must be 21 years or older to participate, and more information is available online.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi here for QC Kinetics. When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, do your homework. Remember, once the joint is replaced, there's no going back. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you here in Greenfield and Mequon. You start with a medical evaluation, reviewing your history, any imaging, and the actual source of your pain. If you're good good candidate. They'll concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that could change your life. Don't just accept surgery is your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Call QC Kinetics at 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. QC Kinetics.
Day one of the Wisconsin State Fair and Wisconsin's Midday News is broadcasting live from the Bank 59 studios at the State Fairgrounds, a very familiar location here. We like to call it the Fishbowl, Jessica, down toward the Expo Center. If you're getting off the Sky Glider, just turn yourself back. In fact, you could wave to us from your Sky Glider chair as you go by here. So getting started here with the fair. Wisconsin's Afternoon News will follow Brewers baseball as we get you throughout the fair. Here on WTMJ.
I just saw a man walk by with a shirt that said, "Sweet dreams are made of cheese."
Yeah.
And how Wisconsin is that? It looked like, too, he was kind of walking pretty fast, so I didn't see for sure, but it looked like it might have been an old Wisconsin State Fair shirt. It's possible.
I would not be surprised. That seems very fair-like, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
I was asking one of the ladies when I walked in. She was paging through the bargain book. She must have been one of the first people to go through that bargain book. And I was like, what are the bargains this year? Because that bargain book doesn't cost you much, and it can save you some money. So if you're coming out here with a big family, you got a lot of kids, that bargain book is a great spot. And also, it's right over here at the information desk, which is right by 620 WTMJ, where we are.
A couple of favorites for me. So every time I come to the fair, I like going to the Expo Center purely for entertainment purposes. I'm not going to buy the chopper. I'm not buying the mop. I'm not buying the chamois, all that kind of stuff. But I am interested in the spiel for why I should be buying that. I'm fascinated with the hawkers, is what I call them. They're located inside the Expo Center. You can also buy a hot tub, a very important thing to get when you're at the State Fair.
Oh, yeah. Last year there were saunas.
You don't have to take it with you, though. They'll ship it. I can promise you that. Yeah, you don't want to carry that stuff around.
Shipping cost?
The other thing I like, and it really is part of the fabric of our state, is the Products Pavilion. It's one of my favorite places at the fair because it really gives you insight as to the incredible agricultural industry here in the state of Wisconsin and how it really is sort of the backbone of our state, right? We talk about the cheese, the dairy, all that kind of stuff. That is so local. It is so hyper-local. The potato folks, all grown in central Wisconsin. Everything about the Products Pavilion just screams Wisconsin, and I love that. It really is part of the backbone of our state.
It is such a great day to be out here. The sun is trying to peek out. We have some clouds, definitely a lot of clouds right now, but there is no rain, and we love that because last year, the end of State Fair, that was a tough one for a lot of people. It was tough for the Wisconsin State Fair. It was tough for the vendors as well, so we are hoping for calm skies throughout this 11-day stretch. Guess what else we can see? I just had to turn around to see it, but how cool is this? New this year? The observation wheel, the America 250 observation wheel. Don't call it a Ferris wheel. We can see it from here. That's a beast, Craig.
It is massive, right? I mean, it does stand out. For those who are familiar with the fair, they used to have a big Ferris wheel, and I think they still do, but that's kind of more toward, I guess it would be the west side of the grounds. This is kind of tucked into the southwest corner, and it is massive, absolutely massive.
And you'll be able to, I don't know if you can actually pick. If you want to pick which presidential bucket you're going to go in on this observation wheel, you might have to wait. It's kind of like the Sky Glider. Maybe you're hoping you get a blue one or the yellow one, but then a red one comes, you just got to jump on it.
Absolutely.
It's kind of the same thing with this.
It looks pretty cool. Right now it is stalled, so people are really getting their chance to observe from the observation wheel.
That is such a sight. To be up there, I think you can see like 14 miles out. That's pretty cool. Maybe not 14 miles today because it's a little cloudy, but that's an awesome sight.
Well, a great day as day one of the fair gets underway. The doors opened about 2 hours ago, a little more than 2 hours ago, and we've got Brewers baseball coming up in just a few minutes. We'll get you set up with bottom of the hour headlines coming up in just a few.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, But with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, August 6th. Your top story, the owners of a defunct gentlemen's club head back to court.
I'm Jessica Ty, proposing natural gas plants to help power Wisconsin's data centers.
Partly cloudy today, high 76 degrees. No rain in the forecast. Clouds continue tonight at a low of 65. It's currently 74 at the fair.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The Pentagon has blamed a recent change in how it categorizes casualties related to the military operation in Iran as a technical error. But Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth today is introducing legislation that she says will prevent this from happening. She says it's about being upfront and honest with facts that could have big impacts.
There is different statuses for how our service members are treated for their wounds and compensated if they are wounded or killed in a combat operation as opposed to a non-combat injury or death.
A Senate committee today voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt for his refusal to answer their questions last week. Committee Chair Rand Paul says he'll refer the vote to the Justice Department. The FDA voted to approve Moderna's first ever mRNA seasonal flu shot for people 50 and older. Data showed the vaccine was 27% more effective than the traditional flu shot. This is ABC News.
WTMJ News Time is 12:31. The owners for On the Border Gentlemen's Club plead not guilty to keeping a place of prostitution. The strip club ended operations in July after the Franklin Common Council revoked multiple operating licenses. The revocations came after police were involved in a multi-year investigation into alleged prostitution, human trafficking, and drug use at the club. That also includes felony charges against the club's former general manager, Brian Hopkins. If convicted, the owners could face up to 6 years in prison.
State regulators are weighing another energy proposal for powering data centers. This time, it's a pair of natural gas plants in Kenosha and Walworth counties.
The projects known as Foundry Ridge and Red Oak Ridge are going through what some may call a regulatory loophole. Chicago-based Invenergy wants to construct the gas plants, and We Energies would later acquire the power. Maria Chavez with Union of Concerned Scientists says this process would restrict the state's regulatory body.
Because Invenergy is not a public utility, there is a narrower legal scope from which the Public Service Commission must review its proposals.
Red Oak Ridge in the town of Paris would be the second largest natural gas plant in Wisconsin. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The former UWM at Washington County campus is completing its transformation into a private K-12 school.
The county officially completed the sale to Ozaki Christian School, now known as Faith Ridge. Classes will start in the new building this fall. This comes after Washington County Charitable Foundation sued to block the sale, arguing that past donations required the building be used for public education. A judge denied their request for an injunction. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
There's a plan to convert another downtown Milwaukee office building into housing.
The east tower of the 310 West Wisconsin complex, known for its blue paneling, would be switched from office space into 220 apartments under the proposal from the Department of City Development. In exchange for a city subsidy, 50 of the units inside would be set aside as workforce housing. The project is the latest to swap empty office space for living space, following the example of the ongoing 100 East and 633 West Wisconsin conversions. The 310 subsidy requires a review by the Milwaukee Common Council. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And just like that, we are out of time. Brewers baseball next on WTMJ with newly acquired pitcher Dustin May making his Brewers debut.
Every tailgate has one. One person who brings the grill. One person with the long games. One who's convinced this is the year. But everyone's favorite, the one who shows up with the carbless. Handcrafted premium cocktail